Ego is a constant movement of becoming. When I say ego is a constant movement of becoming, I am pointing to something very mechanical, not mystical. Ego is not arrogance, ego is not confidence, ego is not pride. Ego is the psychological impulse to become something other than what you are right now. What is becoming? Becoming means becoming better, becoming more admired, becoming stronger, becoming successful, becoming enlightened, becoming desirable, becoming secure. Even becoming humble is becoming. The ego is always saying, this moment is insufficient, I must move. That moment is ego. Why is ego a movement? Because ego cannot exist in stillness. The moment there is silence without direction, ego panics. So it creates a future. In 6 months, I'll be different. Once I achieve X, I'll be okay. After I fix this flaw, I'll rest. That future is imaginary, but the tension toward it is real. Ego lives in the tension. Why is becoming a problem? Because becoming never ends. If you become fit, ego wants admiration. If you get admiration, ego wants status. If you get status, ego wants permanence. If you get permanence, ego fears loss. So the movement continues. You don't suffer because you lack something. You suffer because the nervous system is addicted to forward motion. Even self-improvement is ego unless it happens without psychological urgency. Ask yourself honestly, are you training to enjoy strength or to escape inadequacy? Are you learning sales to understand reality or to be someone? Are you seeking truth or to be free from fear? Ego hides inside noble words. What happens when ego drops? Nothing happens. That's the point. There is no becoming, no future self, no improvement narrative, only clarity without motive. And the mind hates this because clarity gives it no job. Ego is time, truth is timeless. As long as you are becoming, you are not seeing. Don't try to kill ego. That's ego again. Just see the movement without trying to stop it. Seeing ends it. Becoming is I'm not enough now. I'll be okay later. That sentence may be silent, but it is always running. Even in positive forms, I'll feel good when I'm lean. I'll relax once my income stabilizes. I'll be confident after I improve myself. Notice, relaxation is postponed. All becoming is suffering. When I say suffering, I do not mean crying, depression, obvious pain, misery. I mean subtle, continuous psychological tension. A background unease that never fully switches off. Most people don't call it suffering because it's become normal. But the problem is, mind is always moving in becoming. The mind's default state is movement toward becoming. The mind is a problem solving machine. When there is no real problem, it invents one. So it creates a future self, a better version, a fixed identity, a direction to move toward. That movement gives the mind purpose. Without it, the mind feels unnecessary. Why the mind keeps moving? Because the mind has learned one thing very deeply. If I stop moving, something is wrong. So it plans, evaluates, compares, improves, corrects, fantasizes. This is not intelligence. It is conditioning plus survival instinct. Movement of thought is the enemy. What creates suffering is unconscious compulsive movement toward psychological completion. In other words, thought used when needed, healthy, thought running to escape the present, suffering. Why becoming feels necessary? Because the present moment feels psychologically naked. No story, no future, no improvement narrative. The ego cannot survive nakedness. So it dresses the moment with I'm on a path, I'm improving, I'll get there. That clothing is becoming. Why you can't stop becoming? Trying to stop is also becoming. I should be still. I should be egoless. I should be free. Same movement, new label. So control never works. What actually changes things? Not stopping thought, but seeing the movement while it happens. For example, noticing the urge to plan, noticing the itch to improve, noticing the discomfort of just being here. No suppression, no indulgence, just observation. That observation is not ego because it has no direction. Ego is not the mind moving, Ego is the need for the mind to keep moving. When that need is seen clearly, movement naturally slows without force. So, don't ask, how do I stop becoming? Ask, can I notice the discomfort that makes becoming necessary? Stay there. That discomfort is the root. Everything else is just motion trying to escape it. This moment is insufficient. I must move. This sentence is almost never spoken in words. It is felt as restlessness. You sit still, something inside wants to check the phone, plan the future, remember the past, improve something, fix something, become something. That urge is not intelligence, it is conditioning. The nervous system has learned stillness is danger, meaninglessness, death. So it moves. Why does movement feel necessary? Because movement gives dopamine, anticipation, identity, I'm progressing, relief, temporary, direction, escape from now. The relief is real but brief. Once it fades, the system demands another target. This is addiction, not to drugs but to forward motion. Why the movement never ends? Let's examine the sequence carefully. You feel unease, you create a goal, you move toward it, you feel relief, relief fades, unease returns, a new goal appears. Notice, the object changes, the pattern does not. Fitness, money, relationships, spirituality, same loop. So the problem was never the goal, the problem is the need to escape the present. Where exactly is the suffering? Again, not dramatic pain. Suffering is the inability to rest now, the constant internal not yet, the background tension of managing self-image, the fear of stagnation or loss. Even during success, the system is alert. Why? Because success is unstable, so the nervous system stays in control mode. That constant control is suffering. But I am not happy, I am driven. That's the trick. Most people confuse stimulation with aliveness, movement with meaning, pressure with purpose. The nervous system feels alive when it's activated, but activation is not peace. It's just arousal, and arousal demands continuation. Why lack is not the issue? If lack were the issue, achievement would end suffering, but it doesn't. Often it increases anxiety. Why? Because the system is not trying to have, it's trying to move. Movement itself has become the drug. A very important distinction. This does not mean stop improving, stop acting, stop building. It means see the compulsion behind the action. Action without compulsion feels grounded, quiet, sufficient, non-neurotic. Action with compulsion feels urgent, identity-driven, tense, never enough. Same action, different nervous system state. Why seeing this matters? You cannot stop this pattern by effort. Effort is more movement. But when the pattern is seen clearly, without justification or condemnation, something loosens. The nervous system realizes, I don't actually need to move to be okay. That realization is not an idea. It is a biological exhale. Sit with this right now, not in theory. So if nothing improved, if no future arrived, if no identity strengthened, would this moment still be unbearable? Don't reply. Just watch what arises. That reaction is the ego's movement. How do you know you are suffering? Ask yourself this. Can I be fully at ease if nothing improves? Is there a constant internal not yet? Do I feel relief only in progress, never in presence? If yes, that's suffering. Quiet, normalized, constant. Where does suffering enter? Let's walk through it step by step, very slowly. Step 1. You set a target. I will become fit. At this moment, something subtle happens. The present body becomes a problem. The mind moves into the future. This creates tension, not pain, tension. Step 2. Progress does not remove tension. You start training, you improve. Does the tension disappear? No. Why? Because the mind says, maintain it, improve it more, don't lose it. Now there is a fear of regression. The goal shifts, but the tension remains. Step 3. Achievement increases vulnerability. When you had nothing, you had nothing to lose. Now, admiration can disappear. Status can be challenged. Fitness can decline. Money can fluctuate. So the nervous system starts alert. This alertness is suffering. Suffering is not failure, suffering is psychological continuity. The nervous system never gets to rest now. It is always managing progress, image, future, protection. But becoming gives motivation, right? Yes. And motivation is stress based fuel. It runs on dissatisfaction, fear, comparison, anticipation. It works, but it extracts a cost. You call that cost drive, ambition, or discipline. I call it tension disguised as purpose. Why does the nervous system get addicted to becoming? Because forward motion gives dopamine, meaning, identity, distraction from emptiness. Stillness feels like death to the ego, so it keeps moving. Not because it's healthy, because it's familiar. Important distinction, don't confuse this. Action is not the problem, psychological becoming is. You can train, work, learn, build without needing to become someone. That action feels clean, effortful, but not heavy. Becoming is suffering because it denies the present its right to be complete. Sit with that. Don't agree, just watch your own mind. That observation matters more than understanding. So, the problem is not that the mind moves, the problem is that it cannot rest. So, it creates becoming. Not because becoming is useful, but because stillness feels unsafe to a conditioned nervous system. You don't suffer because life asks something of you. You suffer because the mind refuses to let this moment be enough. Nothing needs to be stopped, nothing needs to be achieved. Just see the moment as it happens. When the need to move is seen clearly, movement loses its authority, and in that seeing, there is already rest.